निरन्धस्य शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नित्य नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवम् Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So last time we finished till 11th shloka. So now 12 onwards we will be seeing. We are there in the 10th chapter, and 19 to 42 shlokas are the vibhutis of the Krishna. So it will be there is no more discussion, like the description over it by the acharyas, so it will go very fast. And 12 to 18 is somewhat very important section here. So we are there in 12 and 13 shlokas. We will be reciting together. Shloka number 12 and 13 we will be reciting. Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna Uvacha.
Param Brahma Param Dhama.
Param Brahma Param Dhama.
Pavitram Paramam Bhavan.
Pavitram Paramam Bhavan.
Purusham Shashvatam Divyam.
Purusham Saswatam Divyam.
Adi Devam Ajam Vibhu.
Adi Devam Ajam Vibhu.
Ahustvam Rishaya Sarve.
Ahustam Rishaya Sarve.
Devarshir Nardastatha.
Devarshir Nardastatha.
Asito Devalo Vyasa.
Asito Devalo Vyasa.
Swayam Chaiva Bravishime.
Swayam Chaiva Bravishime.
Somebody can read the translation and commentary.
Hare Krishna. Can I?
Yes, Mataji.
Arjuna said, "You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa confirm this truth about you. And now you yourself are declaring it to me." Arjuna speaks after a long time. Arjuna becomes happy and understood Lord's position, but he still wanted to know more. After hearing Lord's opulence in brief, he wanted to hear it in more detail, and thus started glorifying Paramdhama. Supreme form of Shyam is Param Brahma. Yeah. House, body, birth. Yeah. You yourself become your abode. Krishna's body is also Krishna. There is no difference between you and body. What kind of body? Pavitram Paramam, pure supreme. Whoever sees it, all dirt or ignorance removed. Therefore, all sages say you are supreme. Arjuna accepts Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and declares that only Krishna can actually know his own position.
So after which shlokas Arjuna is saying like this? After the Krishna, yeah, Chatushloki Gita, and then after Krishna, Arjuna is saying that Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavam. Then he is like Arjuna is giving a reference. I am not only saying Asito Devalo Vyasa Swayam Chaiva Bravishime. Asito and Asita Rishi, Deval Rishi, and then yourself. yourself are also proclaiming that. So that's why I am again saying, and why I am saying that I just wanted to know further about that, your opulences. So that's why please go on speaking your opulences. Yes, please go on reading this.
Hare Krishna, can you continue?
Right.
Arjuna says that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth, the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn and the greatest. All the great sages such as Narada, Ashita, Devala and Vyasa have confirmed this, and again Krishna himself declared the same truth in verses 12 to 13. In verses, 1 second, Prabhu. Okay. In verses 12 to 13, Arjuna confirms that the Supreme Lord is different from the individual soul. Krishna is the absolute truth, the supreme independent being. All living entities depend on Krishna, and Krishna is the source and support of his effulgence known as the impersonal Brahman. All these conclusions can be understood only through the Parampara system. Srila Prabhupada explains, here Arjuna expresses himself through the grace of Krishna. If we want to understand Bhagavad Gita, we should accept the statements in these two verses. This is called the Parampara system, acceptance of the disciplic succession. Unless one is in the disciplic succession, he cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. It is not possible by so-called academic education. Unfortunately, those proud of their academic education, despite of evidence in the Vedic literature, stick to their obstinate conviction that Krishna is an ordinary person. Hare Krishna.
So now here, Prabhupada in purport is mentioning about the glories of the disciplic succession. Why? Because Arjuna is also referring the previous acharyas, Asito, Devala, Vyasa. So it is a glory that, okay, I am not saying it is reconfirmed. I am just reconfirming. These acharyas, these rishis are mentioning about that. Text 14. Sarvam etadritam manye.
Sarvam etadritam manye.
Yanmam vadasi Keshava.
Yanmam vadasi Keshava.
Nahite Bhagwan Vyaktim.
Nahite Bhagwan Vyaktim.
Vidur Devana Danava.
Vidur Devana Danava.
Translation, somebody can read.
You want me to continue?
Yes, please.
Oh Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, oh Lord, can understand your personality.
So here Arjuna is accepting, agreeing that. Where Krishna mentioned that this is like in a first section of the 10th chapter, there like Krishna is mentioning about that okay, nobody knows me, even the demons are not knowing, even the demigods are not knowing, even the rishis are not knowing, even so many things he is speaking that. So there Arjuna is saying that I accept that, I agree with that, and I am also reconfirming whatever you spoke it. I am knowing that. Commentary and the purport. You can.
Commentary. Sages, previous verse, speak and say you are glorious. Yet they do not know how you are. You do not know how you are Brahma. Yet have taken birth. They don't know everything. Ke Sha Va. Ke means Brahma. Sha means Shiva. Are working under you, Va, and are bound by you, so they cannot understand. What to speak of others? It is not possible for them to understand. Hare Krishna.
It is by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakurpad, Keshava. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakurpad is the very like that melodious, and he takes it out the essence, and express it in that way. Please go on reading Gita Bhushan.
From Gita Bhushan. What you have told me isn't glorification, exaggeration, but everything is true. You are Keshava, above Brahman, and what to speak of Prajapati, Bhagavan means full opulences. Neither Devas nor Dhanavas know you, and they therefore sometimes become envious or disregard. You are you as they don't consider you are superior. And the continuation commentary, Arjuna calls Krishna Keshava. K means Brahma, Sa means Shiva, Va means some repetition. Vishnu or something.
Like the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Okay. Text 15. Swayam evatmanatmanam. Vettatvam Purushottama.
Vettatvam Purushottama.
Bhuta Bhavana Bhutesha.
Bhuta Bhavana Bhutesha.
Deva Deva Jagatpate.
Deva Deva Jagatpate.
Yeah. Translation and the purport. Somebody can read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency, O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, Lord of the universe. Commentary: 5 addresses due to affectionate emotions of Arjuna. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Oh, you know yourself by yourself, Eva only. Signifies Lord's birth and activities are difficult to understand, and even devotees only understand how the Lord performs his inconceivable pastimes, such as Lord's birth, although unborn. Krishna also doesn't use any other means to know himself other than himself. Therefore, you are the best person amongst all persons. Not only that, but you are Bhuta Bhavana, the creator of all living entities. You are not only creator, but controller, but also you are playing with them as if toys. You are also protecting them. Best creator, controller, player with protector of all living entities.
Yeah, so here these 5 addresses are there. What? Best, creator, controller, player with, and the protector of all living entities. These are the 5 addresses. And here the 5 times, like you, yourself, your internal potency, O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, Lord of the universe. So it is like very fine composition where every address is there for the Krishna directly. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that it is the emotions are coming out of the Arjuna, and with the emotions the poetry is also coming out. You yourself, your internal potency, supreme being, original of all, Lord of all beings, gods of gods. It is like the mouthful glorification of the Krishna Arjuna is doing, what the way he can do it the maximum. Yeah, please go on reading.
These other addresses are adjectives of Purushottam, best person, father of living entities, controller, worshipable deity, Deva Deva, protector. Gita Bhushan. You yourself know yourself with your own knowledge as they are. Others know something about you. Only you know everything about yourself. How do you protect this world? Through your teachings to the living entities. Commentary. Here Arjuna calls Krishna Purushottama, which means supreme person. But he himself, the supreme person, is the only one who knows himself completely. And then after describing Krishna as the supreme person, Arjuna uses many adjectives to glorify that Supreme Person. He calls him the origin of all, the creator, Lord of everything, the controller, the Lord of the universe, the protector, etc. In this way, Arjuna is glorifying Krishna and taking shelter of him. Arjuna asks Krishna of his opulences so he can always think of and remember Krishna. 16 to 18.
So now this 16 to 18, Arjuna is requesting Krishna to show or to give a glimpse of the opulences. Sometimes Krishna is being criticized that why Krishna spoke that I am this, I am that, I am that. But the people are not understanding it is a question asked to him and he answered it. It was not by his own way, he just making the self-glorification happen. But if Arjuna is asking the question, so that's why the Krishna is explaining everything, that who am I and what are my glories. So it is not the Krishna's own way of self-glorification, it is answering to the questions. Yes.
Arjuna totally accepts as truth all that Krishna told him. He confirms that neither the demigods nor the demons can understand Krishna's personality. Only Krishna knows himself, being the origin of all. Verses 14 to 15. Arjuna's full acceptance establishes the proper standard for all who want to understand the Bhagavad Gita. Everybody should therefore follow the example of Arjuna. Any deviation from the mood of Arjuna will lead to confusion. Krishna is not known even by the great demigods and sages. To understand him is possible only by strict adherence to the disciplic succession. One cannot understand Krishna by whimsical acceptance and rejection of his teachings. Srila Prabhupada explains in Renunciation Through Wisdom, such logic is described as the logic of half a hen, by which a fool wishes to profit from the egg-laying half of the hen without having to feed the front half. Those who have been blessed by the spiritual master and the Supreme Lord can easily see through this foolish concept and abstain from futile time-wasting debates. The process of surrender gradually reveals the wonderful glories of the Supreme Lord. Puny human attempts to comprehend such topics will merely end in confusion. The Supreme Lord manifests himself to the devotee in proportion to the devotee's service attitude and surrender. Arguments and debates are totally inadequate means for understanding the supreme absolute truth. In his commentary to verse 14, Srila Baladeva Vidyabhushana explains that the name Keshava means the Lord who binds up Brahma and Shiva by hiding from them the knowledge of his true self. In his purport to verse 15, Srila Prabhupada explains the significance of the names Purushottama, Bhuta Bhavana, Bhutesha, Devadeva, and Jagatpati. Sometimes the impersonalists accept Krishna as Bhagavan or they accept his authority. Yet, many liberated persons cannot understand Krishna as Purushottama, the Supreme Person. Therefore, Arjuna addresses him as Purushottama. Yet, one still may not understand that Krishna is the father of all living entities. Therefore, Arjuna addresses him as Bhuta Bhavana. And if one comes to know him as the father of all the living entities, still one may not know him as the supreme controller. Therefore, he is addressed here as Bhutesha, the supreme controller of everyone. And even if one knows Krishna as the supreme controller of all living entities, still one may not know that he is the origin of all the demigods. Therefore, he is addressed herein as Devesha, the worshipful god of all demigods. And even if one knows him as the worshipful god of all demigods, one may not know that he is the supreme proprietor of everything. Therefore, he is addressed as Jagatpati. Thus, the truth about Krishna is established in this verse by the realization of Arjuna, and we should follow in the footsteps of Arjuna to understand Krishna as he is. Hare Krishna.
So these words are there. Deva Deva, he is the demigod. He is the master of the demigods. Bhuta Bhavana, Jagatpati, Purushottama. These are not like just for the sake of saying something, but it is having the inner meaning Arjuna wanted to say, and that has been explained by the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Path. And the same is also directly explained by the Baldev Vidyabhushan Pada also. So verses 16 to 18, it is Arjuna's request to show the opulences. Vaktum arhasi aseshena divyai atma vibhutaya Yabhirvibhutivrilokana Istase Translation of the purport, somebody can read.
Yeah. Translation. Please tell me in detail of your divine opulences, by which you pervade all these worlds. Commentary. Krishna's opulences are unlimited, and as much of your opulences are pervading this material, nothing more. Krishna.
Oh, your voice is not that much clear. Some disturbance is there, bro.
Oh, okay, I'll give it to someone. Prabhu, anybody?
Some echo is coming, bro.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can I read it?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Commentary. Okay. Translation. Please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these worlds. Commentary. Krishna's opulences are unlimited, and as much as your opulences are pervading this material world, nothing more. Krishna. It is impossible to speak about my opulences as they are unlimited. Arjuna. Please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these worlds. Gita Bhushan. So my interest is to hear only about your opulences. Krishna has previously said in 10.7 that one who understands Krishna opulences become united with him in yoga. So Arjuna asks about his opulences, which mana bhava, man mana bhava mad bhakta. Arjuna needs to know so he can think of him. The next, Arjuna is asking Krishna to tell him about his opulences, and Krishna has already explained Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. How he is everything. But Arjuna is saying it is difficult to understand you, so let me hear more of your opulences. Why? So I can think of you, because Krishna has said in chapter 6, Mad
Gatir Antaratman.
Yeah, Mad Gatir Antaratman, and in the end of the chapter 9, Man Mana Bhava Mad Bhakto. So you become my devotee and always think about me.
Yeah.
May I read, Prabhu? Okay.
Yes.
Arjuna, okay. Krishna has been describing his opulences in this chapter, so Arjuna can always think about him. Arjuna requests Krishna to describe his opulences so that he can always remember him. For the benefit of the common man, Arjuna asks how Krishna exists in all pervading aspects through his different energies. Arjuna asks Krishna how one can think of him in various physical manifestations. In verse 6.47, in verse 6.47, 8.7 and 9.34, the Lord recommended that one should always think of him. However, as Srila Prabhupada explains in his purport, the common man who has no love for Krishna cannot always think of Krishna. Therefore, he has to think materially. Arjuna is considering the mode of thinking of materialistic persons of this world. The word Keshu, Keshu cha Bhaveshu refers to the material nature. The word Bhava means physical things. Because the materialistics cannot understand Krishna. Spiritually, they are advised to concentrate the mind on the physical things and try to see how Krishna is manifested by physical representations. Another reason for Arjuna's request is verse 10.7, where it is stated that being factually convinced of Krishna's opulence, one will be inspired to engage in pure devotional service. Therefore, Arjuna wants to hear more about Krishna from Krishna himself.
Okay. So which were the shlokas? 6.47, 8.7, and then 9.34 and 10.7. These are the 4 shlokas. 6.47 is Yoginam api sarvesham madgatir antaratmana. 8.7, somebody can say which one was that? 8.7. And then 9.34 is Manmana Bhava Madbhakto, and 10 was 8.7. Somebody can complete the shloka.
Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamana yudhya cha mayarpita mano buddhir mame vaishyasya samshayaha.
Manusmara yuddhacha and mayarpita mano buddhi. So how a mayarpita mano buddhi will happen? Then that was a question. So now Arjuna is asking that how I can see, because for the materialistic people to understand and to know about Krishna, it is difficult. So to understand Krishna spiritually, it is difficult. So they can see through the material things and remember Krishna. So it is a question Arjuna was asking on behalf of the materialistic people, that how I can remember you always by seeing this whole world. Text 17. Katham vidyam aham yomis. Tvam sada parichintayan. Keshu keshu bhaveshu. Chinkyosi Bhagavan Maya. Translation and purport. Somebody can read this.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you? And how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead? Comment. Krishna is yoga because he is covered by his yoga maya. Parichintyan, thinking around you only. I can be known only by bhakti. Please teach me. Chintan bhakti. Thinking of you will be my devotion, and while doing this, I will work. Gita Bhushana. How will I know you?
So no, here the Krishna is asking the question, I can be known only by bhakti. And Arjuna is saying that, please teach me this Chintan Bhakti, thinking of you. Yeah, please. Please go on, ready.
Okay, Prabhuji. How will I know you who has all auspicious qualities and who is the Lord of Yoga Maya? How should I meditate on you? Krishna, tell me clearly what you want me to do. So my opulences, or how I should be meditated upon. Arjuna, O Janardhan, again please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satiated in hearing about you. For the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. Text 18.
So here Krishna is asking like Baldev Vidyabhushan is mentioning this point that Krishna must be asking to Arjuna, what you want me to do? To show my opulences, or how one can meditate upon me? So Arjuna is saying that, oh Janardana, again, please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never saturated in hearing about you. For the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. So Arjuna is saying that I just would like to meditate on you, but I need to know more of your opulences. Then only I can meditate upon you. So both the things I wanted. Yes, please go on.
In this commentary to verse 17, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives yet another reason for Arjuna's request. O Janardana, in people such as me, by the sweetness of your beneficial instructions, you create longing, you make us agitated, ardhana, and you make us vague. What can we do? For me, hearing nectars in the form of your instructions, relishing through the tongue in the form of my ear, there is no satiations. Krishna now describes his opulences, which he will continue till the remainder of this chapter.
Yeah. From 19 onwards, the opulences of the Krishnas are there. It is a vibhuti. So where Krishna is explaining about who is he, amongst what he is there. So these are the very good section where we can see whatever we are seeing, how we can see Krishna in this world. Text 18. Vistaretmana yogam vibhutim cha janardana Bhuya kathaya triptirhi Shanvato nasti menmanam. Yeah, please read this. Translation.
Prabhuji, I will read. Can I read?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Translation. O Janardana, again, please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satiated in hearing about you. For the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has described, this sounds so funny. For the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. Krishna points out, with your ears, are you tasting? And Arjuna replies, my ears had become like tongue, the agent of tasting the nectar of your words. Now Krishna begins his descriptions of his opulences.
So it is very sweet purport by the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. How you are testing it? My ears are now becoming the tongue. So I am testing through the ears, but now the ears are not remaining the ears, it is a tongue. So now this Krishna's opulences, there is not much of the commentary. So we will be moreover, wherever the shlokas are having the commentary, there we will be reading it. But moreover, the shlokas and the translation, wherever the acharyas and Rupada are speaking about something, there we will be reading it. So I feel this is like today only we will be finishing this 10th chapter, and from Friday we will be starting the 11th one. Verses 19 to 42, Krishna's opulences. Krishna agrees to state the principal manifestations of his different energies. In response to Arjuna's request, Krishna replies that he will explain the most prominent among his limitless, all-pervading opulences. So the Krishna is not explaining everything. Krishna is explaining the most important, most prominent opulences. So one cannot say that Krishna has explained everything in the Gita, but Krishna has explained all the important things in the Gita, his opulences. His opulences are limitless, so it is one cannot understand or one cannot cover up in a one book. But Krishna here is explaining his prominent opulences. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Shri Bhagavan
Hantate kathayasyami.
Hantate kathayasyami.
Divyahi atma vibhutaya.
Divyasya atma vibhutaya.
Pradhanyanta kuru shrestha. Nasti anto vistarasya me.
Nasti anto vistarasya me.
Please go on reading the translation and the purport.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, yes, I will tell you my splendorous manifestation, but only of those which are prominent. O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless. Commentary. Here, Krishna uses the word. Here, Krishna uses the word Hanta, which means also dear one. Like sometimes two lovers address each other by the word honey, meaning very dear. Here also Krishna applies these intimate words to address Arjuna. First, Krishna will describe his spiritual energy. 2. Krishna says that he is the super soul, the sun, the moon, Lord Shiva, Mount Meru, the ocean, Om, Japa, the Himalayas, the monarch, the thunderbolt, Yamaraja, time, the wind, the shark, death, spring, gambling, splendor, adventure, strength, silence, and wisdom, 20 to 38.
Yes. So Krishna will be explaining this first, because these are the main things. And then afterwards, the Krishna will be explaining who is he actually, amongst whom, like that. Mostly this section will be following that. Aham Atma Gudakesha.
Aham Atma Gudakesha.
Sarvabhuta Sayasita. Aham Adishta Madhyam Cha. Bhutana Manta Eva Cha. Translation.
I am the Hare Krishna Prabhu. I am the super soul. O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. Commentaries. Being refers to sentient beings. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport to verse 20. In this verse, Arjuna is addressed as Gudakesha, which means one who has conquered the darkness of sleep. For those who are sleeping in darkness of ignorance, it is not possible to understand how the Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests himself in various ways in the material and spiritual world. Thus, this address by Krishna to Arjuna is significant because Arjuna is above such darkness The personality of Godhead agrees to describe his various opulence.
So now here the quality of Arjuna, that he is Gudakesh, he is beyond the Tamah. So it is like the Guda means like the sleep, and who has conquered the sleep. It is not only the sleep, but it is the mode of ignorance he has conquered. So the mode of ignorance, he is beyond the mode of ignorance. So that's why Krishna is ready to explain him his own opulences. Or else the ignorant people, how much you try them to explain about the Krishna, they will not able to understand. The Krishna is referring here the Arjuna as the Gudakesh, because you are the Gudakesh, so that's why you will able to understand. I know that, so I am going to explain. Please go on reading.
He describes that which can be directly perceived by the common man. Thus, part of his variegated energy was described by him. Krishna confirms that he is the beginning, the middle, and the end of every manifestations. His list representations of himself in various creations. Hare Krishna.
So now the Krishna will be again going on further, not only stopping about he is the super soul, but now he will be continuing further. Adityanamaham Vishnur
Adityanamaham Vishnu
Jyotisham Ravir Amshuman Marichir Marutam Asmi Nakshatranam Aham Shashi. Yeah, please go on reading.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of lights, I am the radiant sun. Of the Maruts, I am Marichi. And among the stars, I am the moon.
Yes. So the different demigods, the Krishna is making that I am the Adityas. Out of the Adityas, I am the sun. But not only Aditya, it is like the sun also, and the original sun is a Vishnu. Because how it is in one place, it has been mentioned that the sun is just a reflecting object. It is himself is not the bright like that, but like the Brahma Jyoti light is falling on it, and it is repelling that. So that way he is the original Vishnu. The next shloka, Vedanam Samavedosmi Devanam Asmi Vasava Indriyanam Manaschasmi Bhutanam Asmi Chetana.
Of the Vedas, I am the Samaveda. Of the demigods, I am Indra, the king of heaven. Of the senses, I am the mind. And in the living beings, I am the living source, living force, consciousness. Commentary. Krishna is explaining groups, and he is the most prominent essence of these groups, which are easily seen and understood in this material world.
So it is very how we can see Indriyana Manaschasmi. Indriyana Manaschasmi. Manaschasthani Indriyani, it has been said, na? So out this five Indriyas, Manaschasthani Indriyani, and then the Krishna says that the sixth Indriya is Mana. And here the Krishna is saying that I am, because the mana, like the indriya, the mana indriya is very powerful. Whatever it is, the powerful, that I am. Whatever it is beautiful, that I am. Whatever, out of these six, which are the vibhutis, six main vibhutis of the Krishna, why he has been called as the Bhagwan. Somebody knows that which are the six vibhutis and why he has been called as a Bhagwan?
Strength.
Six opulences,
beauty, wealth.
Six opulences.
Only one devotee at a time?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Six opulences are strength, fame, wealth, beauty, enunciation, knowledge, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So wherever the strength, beauty, and wealth, and all the six are clear, out of the six, one is been there in any of the things, then it has been called as a Krishna. Krishna is saying, I am that. I am that. Rudranam Shankarashchasmi. Vittesho Yaksharakshasam. Vasunam Pavakaschasmi. Meru Shikharinam. Meru Shikharinam. Yeah, please go on reading.
Of all the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. Of the Yakshasas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of Wealth Kubera. And of the Vasus, I am Ragni. And of the mountains, I am Meru.
So why it is like Yakshas and Rakshasas, the Krishna is saying that I am that? Rudras, it is all right. Rakshasas, any thought over it? Yakshas and Rakshasas.
Kubera is the king of all the Yakshas, right, Prabhuji? Kubera is the king of Yakshas.
Yeah. Okay. So Rakshasas, he has not mentioned, but the Yakshas and Rakshasas are same.
Prahlada. No, they are same.
Are the Rakshasa and Yakshas are same?
No, Prabhuji.
No,
I don't think they are same.
No.
What do you feel? What is your opinion about Yakshas and Rakshasas?
I
So the
think
Kubera is a Rakshasa or what?
Kubera is Yaksha, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yakshas and Rakshasas are born with the same Rishi. Yakshas and Rakshasas are born to same Rishi. I'm not able to remember the Rishi, the Maharshi's name. I think Ruchi or somebody. They are born with the same, and Yaksha is headed by again Kubera, and Rakshasas. Was it Pulastya? I think then comes Ravana and.
One thing I just would like to add is like whatever Mataji is speaking the same, like it is like right, but the Yakshas are taking the sides of the demigods, so that's why they are having the godly qualities. They are inclined. This is like the yoni is the same, but they are and the powers are also same. The Rakshasa and the Yakshas, but the Yakshas in this whole category of the the Rakshasas, the Yakshas, those who are the Yakshas, those who are taking the part of the demigods or helping hand of the demigods, they are awarded as the position as a Yakshas. So that's why the Yakshas and Rakshasas are there the mentality wise they are differing, but the quality the power and ancestrals, all these things they are having the same. But the yakshas are referred to these people, those who are taking the sides and they are helping the demigods. And amongst them, the Kuvera is the main. So that's why the Prahlad was what? The Rakshasas. He was fighting with whom? The Yakshas. When he was, his brother got killed. And then the Kuvera came in between and says that we are having the same lineage. Prahlad, why are you still fighting with us? Then the Prahlad Maharaj says that because Yakshas, one of the Yaksha killed my brother. So I am taking a revenge to all the Yakshas.
That was Dhruv Maharaj.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Sorry. It was a Dhruva. It was a Dhruva, but the Dhruva was not. But the Prahlad. No, sorry. I just mismatched it. So the Dhruva was fighting. Dhruva was fighting with them. So Prahlad is a Yaksha. No, Prahlad is a Rakshasa. Prahlad born in a Rakshasa family, and Prahlad was not having any connection with the Yakshas fighting. But the Dhruva was not having any connection with the Rakshasa and the Yakshas, but his brother got killed, so he was still fighting with them. But the Yakshas are those people, those who are taking the side of the Devatas, so they are not been called as a Rakshasas. And the Rakshasas are not that. This is like Asuri and Danavas. Danavas are the people, those who are having the mentality. And the Danavas can also refer to these people, those who are having the mystics over. Like there is a differences between the Daityas, Danavas, Rakshasas, and Asuras. Asuras can be the human beings, but they are having the mentality of that. Daityas are also, but they are having more the mentality of the Asuras. They are more like the advanced version of the Asuras. Daityas are again further. But the Danavas and Rakshasas can also have this like the fearful form, and the Danavas are also having the fearful form, but the Danavas more into the mystics. So that's why the Ravana was been called as more as a Danava, because he was having the mystical forms also. But Ghatotkach and others were called as a Rakshasas, but they can also have the normal forms also. But the Maya form, they always keep to prefer. The Rakshasas, they always keep to prefer the Maya form, like the ghastly form. So these are the differences. Asuras, then the Daityas, then the Danavas, and then the Rakshasas.
So here, Lord is telling about mountains. I am the Meru amongst the mountains.
Yes.
We generally hear that Giriraj referred to as Krishna's form. So how can we?
No, here he is mentioning about how he like the materialistic forms, by saying them, how we can remember him. And the Meru is been called as like Meru is glorified as the mountain where it is like the Bharatavarsha is been surrounded by. So how to remember that? This is like the Meru is in a center. So by that, by seeing that, one can think about me. Giriraj, Govardhan, or the Chitrakoot, these are the personification, but here he is mentioning about the vibhutis. He is not mentioning about the devotion there. He is glorifying the vibhutis here. He is mentioning about the vibhutis. So how then, why the sun or the moon he is mentioning? Like the sun, moon, rivers, the mountains he is talking about. So now then how we can say it is like the Mother Ganga is been mentioned, not the Yamuna. It is like the Krishna's own things are there. Krishna is not mentioning that. Krishna is mentioning about the whatever the things are there in this material world. And like Krishna has manifested the Govardhan, like the Parvat here, he has taken from what? From his own abode. So the Meru is here only in this material world. So he is glorifying the Meru, that I am the Meru. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru.
Purodhasam cha mukhyam mam.
Purodhasam cha mukhyam
Vidhi partha brahaspatim.
Vidhi partha brahaspatim.
Sainainam aham skandha.
Senainam skandha.
Sarasam asmi sagara.
Sarasam asmi sagara.
Please read the translation and purport.
Shall I continue, Prabhuji?
Yes, Hare Krishna. Please continue.
Yeah. Translation. Of priest, O Arjuna, know me to be the chief Brahaspati. Of generals, I am Kartikeya, and of the bodies of water, I am the ocean. Commentary. The ocean, due to its greatness, neither decreases nor increases. So much water leaves the ocean in the form of evaporation or to form the clouds, and so much water enters into the ocean in the form of rains and rivers. Yet the ocean always remains the same because the ocean's greatness. Krishna in chapter 2 told Arjuna to be like the ocean, never be agitated by the flow of desires that rush into the minds, like the ocean is never disturbed, although so many rivers rush towards it. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, somebody remembers this shloka in the second chapter, something clear. The last shlokas are there. Somebody knows this shloka in the second chapter? Atul Govind Prabhu, Panduram Sharan Prabhu. Would you like to go to this second chapter again and quote this shloka?
Last chapter, the last shloka na Prabhu.
Apuriyamana 70.
Apurimanam Achala Pratishtam. Yeah, this starts with the Apurimanam Achala Pratishtam.
Yes,
please quote it.
70th chapter.
Hare Krishna, your voice is not audible to us.
Hare Krishna. Is it audible true now?
Yeah, now it is audible.
Apuryamanam achalam pratishtam Samudragni purishanti yadvat tadvat kamamyam pashanti sarve sasam vyapnoti na karma kami.
So even if the rivers are gushing towards the ocean, but the ocean remains very calm and cool. So it is one of the quality of the ocean. It is always calm and cool. So that's why here the Krishna is saying that as I am like that ocean, and I am the ocean clear amongst the bodies of the water. this is not ending at all. This is, and the greatest of the ocean. Then why Krishna has not mentioned the name of the ocean? Because it is like we are seeing some Arabic Sea, we are seeing our Indian Ocean, we are seeing Bay of Bengal, but Krishna was just thinking that you are seeing what is very puddle of water, but the Karnodaksha is Sagar, Garbhodaksha is Sagar. These are the oceans I am referring actually. But whatever the ocean you are just thinking about, that you can just think, and you can say that it is me. And how come we can say that it is like the ocean is he only? Because when Vamana Avatar was there, that time he conquered the 14 planet system in the 3 steps, and the 3rd step when he was taking upside, that time by that one small aperture happened, and from that the Karnodak Sagar, some drops came inside this Bhumandala, into this whole universe, and that was so flooded, and that is called as a mother Ganges is coming. And the Mother Ganges is not only the Mother Ganges which we are seeing here in India, but whole water body. Prabhupada mentions in this fourth canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, that whole water body where the Bhagiratha and Anshuman's endeavors are described in that canto. There it has been mentioned that the whole water body which we are seeing here in the Bharatavarsha, wherever, Prabhupada says that wherever, in whichever the ocean you are taking bath, it is actually the Mother Ganga only. So it is, this body is called Mother Ganga. If you are not able to come to the Allahabad, if you are not able to come to Rishikesh or Haridwar, then whichever the nearest ocean you are going, there you are taking the bath of Mother Ganga. So that is the real meaning of that. I am amongst the water body, I am the ocean. Text 25. Maharshinam bhruguraham.
Maharshinam bhruguraham.
Giram asmi ekam aksharam.
Giram asmi ekam aksharam.
Yajnanam japa yajñosmi.
Yajnanam japa yajñosmi.
Stavaranam Himalaya.
Stavaranam Himalaya.
Translation.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, read.
Thank you. Oh, of the great sages, I am Bhrigu. Of the vibrations, I am the transcendental Om. Of the sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy names, Japa. And of the immovable things, I am the Himalayas.
So, what is like the Meru has been described, the Parvatas, and now the Sthavara, it is Himalaya. Which Himalaya it is mentioning? It is not our Himalaya there, what we are saying in Bharat Desha. But in a Meru Parvata Dakshin Sthito, Himalayas Dakshin Sthite, like whenever we are doing some puja, there are in a Vedic cosmology, the Meru Parvat is there in the middle, and there are some Gandhamadan Parvat is there in the Meru's Pashchima Disha, and Hemakut and Himalaya Parvat are there in Dakshina Disha of Meru. That Himalaya, which is this Himalaya is very small Parvata which we are seeing, but that Himalaya, it is having 10,000 miles yojana height or more than that. So that Himalaya, the Krishna is saying that I am that Sthavarana Himalaya. The next shloka, Ashwatta Sarva Vrikshanam
Ashwatta Sarva Vrikshanam
Devarshinam cha Narada
Devarshinam cha Narada
Gandharvanam Chitraratha
Gandharvanam Chitraratha
Siddhanam Kapilo Muni.
Siddhanam Kapilo Muni.
Translation and purport.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Of all trees, I am the banyan tree, and of the sages among the demigods, I am Narada. Of the Gandharvas, I am Chitraratha, and among perfected beings, I am the sage Kapila. Commentary. Nara means God, and Ada means giver. Narada is called like that because he gives God to everyone.
So this Ashwatha is mentioned here also, and Ashwatha is mentioned in the 15th chapter also of the Gita. So Ashwatha is a banyan tree. Ashwatham prahuravya. It's like Ashwatha is mentioned in the 15th chapter also. And of the Gandharvas, I am the Chitraratha, the same Gandharva who defeated I feel Vichitraveri and Chitraratha. That same Gandharva defeats the Vichitraveriya's brother Chitraratha. And in the perfected beings, I am the sage Kapila. That the sage Kapila, who is the son of the Devahuti. Uchishravam Ashwanam.
Uchishwaram
Ashwanam
Vidhimam Amruto Bhavam.
Vidhimam Amrito Bhavam
Airavatam Gajendranam.
Airavatam Gajendranam
Naranam Chanaradhipam.
Naranam Naradhipam.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam. Of horses, no need to be Ucheshrava produced during the churning of the ocean for nectar. O lordly elephants, I am Airavata, and among men, I am the monarch.
So this Airavata and Uchishrava came from the churning of the ocean, that Leela. And this Airavata and Uchishrava was been taken by the Indra only. Ayodhanam aham vajram.
Ayudhanam aham vajram.
Dhenunam asmi kamadhup.
Dhenunam asmi kamadhup.
Prajanastasmi kandarpa.
Prajanastasmi
Sarpanam asmi vasuki.
Sarpanam asmi vasuki.
Translation.
Should I continue? Of the many Nagas, I am Ananta, and among the aquatics, I am the demigod Varuna. Of departed ancestors, I am Aryama,
Sorry. It is of the weapons. That 28th translation. You please read it. 29th we have not decided yet.
Of weapons, I am the thunderbolt. Among cows, I am the surabhi. Of causes for procreation, I am Kandarpa, the god of love, and of serpents, I am Vasu.
So serpent and nagas are differently mentioned here. Vasuki is the serpent, it is mentioned, and the nagas, I am the, what was that? Sorry.
Ananta.
Where, just 2 minutes. Ayuham aham vajram dhenu nam asmi prajanas asmi kandarpa sarpanam asmi vasuki. No, the nagas will be next shlokas.
Ananta.
Anantasmi naganam.
Anantasmi naganam.
Varuno yadasam aham. Pitranam aryamam chasmi. Yamaha samyamat aham. The translation.
Of the many hooded nagas, I am Ananta, and among the aquatics, I am the demigod Varuna. Of departed ancestors, I am Aryama, and among the dispensers of law, I am Yama, the lord of death.
Text 30. Prahladas chasmi daityanam. Kalha kalayatamaham. Mriganam cha mrigendraham. Vainateyas cha pakshinam. Translation.
Should I continue, Prabhu?
Yes.
Among the Daitya demons, I am the devoted Prahlada. Among subduers, I am time. Among beasts, I am the lion. And among birds, I am Garuda. Commentary. Why time? Because time controls everything.
Yes. Text 31. Pavana pavatam asmi. Ramashastram Vritamaham. Jasanam Makaraschasmi. Srotasam Asmi Jannavi. Translation.
Of purifiers, I am the wind. Of the wielders of weapon, I am Rama. Of fishes, I am the shark. And of flowing rivers, I am the Ganges.
Yes. So here, of the purifiers, I am the wind. The wind purifies the things. And then the wielders of the weapons. Nobody, actually here, Arjuna can be quoted clear of the wielders of the weapon, but or the Lord Shiva can be clear, could have been quoted. But Krishna says that it is the inner meaning that nobody like the Lord Ram had wielded the weapons, because it was his power that with the one astra, it will not be returning unless it finishes the target. So that is the quality of the Lord Ramachandra. So I am that. Sarganam adirantascha. Madhyam chaivaham Arjuna. Adhyatma vidya vidyanam.
Adhyatma Vidya Vijnana
Vadha Pravadatam Aham.
Pravadatamaham.
Yes.
Of all creations, I am the beginning and the end and also the middle. O Arjuna, of all sciences, I am the spiritual science of the self, and among logicians, I am the conclusive truth. Commentary. In text 20, Krishna also said, I am the beginning, the middle, and end of all beings, sentient beings. Here, he refers to non-sentient beings. In jnana or logic, there are different types of ways to get the truth. They are called Vitendra, Vada, and Jalpa. Krishna here says, I am Vada, the natural conclusion. The difference is...
Sorry, here it is, I am Vada.
Vada. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I am Vada, the natural conclusion. The difference is Vitendra is when someone is arguing, just concerned to defeat the other party, not really very concerned to find the truth. Jalpa means that one wants to prove he is correct and the others are wrong, regardless of who is actually correct. In Vada, one wants to find out what is actually truth is by using argument and discussion to do that.
So this is like 6 streams of the philosophy. If you have heard it, this is one of the section. It is called as Nyaya, and this is like the 16 atoms of the Nyaya. Is one of them. It is a Vitanda, Vada, Jalpa. And then all these 16 atoms of the Nyaya or the logic has been established and spoken many times by the our founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And it was like how we can say it is Vada. It is Vada is that we are trying to establish that the other party is wrong and I am correct. And Vitanda is the thing where Vitanda is the thing that anyhow we would like to defeat that another party. For that mentality, we are doing the opposing arguments. And Jalpa is that on the basis of who is the right and who is wrong. And then it is like there is a Vitanda, then Vitanda, Vada, Jalpa, and there is a Hetva Bhasha. Hetva Bhasha means like to exaggerate such extent that nobody will be speaking anything, any argument further to you. Once Srila Prabhupada was been asked by one of the reporter. That time it was newly like 1968, 69, that time, and the reporter came and actually asked that, Swamiji, how many followers you are having? And Swamiji looked towards their followers. Hardly 4 or 5 the followers were there in that town. And Swamiji with the raised nose and says that 4,000. It was, and others were watching at Rupa that 4,000. How many followers? 4 or 5 are just there. And Prabhupada was saying it was 4,000. So it is one of the practice of the Nyaya that what the questions you are asking about, you are also knowing that. And what the answers I will be giving, you are also knowing that. But still you are asking the questions for the sake of questions. So that's why I will be answering in such a way that there will not be further questions and answers. So it is Hetva Bhasha. And then there is a last object of the Nyaya is a Nigrahasthan, where you are putting the arguments that another party is putting the arguments, and then you are taking the, and half an hour, 1 hour, then afterwards you are hitting that person very hard that he will not be in that state of arguing further. So that is called a Nigrahasthan. The Hetva Bhasha, or the some actually one of the reporter, it was not a Nigrahasthan, but one of the reporter, she was wearing a mini skirt, and she asked that it was like unnecessary silly questions she was asking, and Prabhupada was trying to answer that more and more. But then afterwards, she asked the question, why you people shave? Why you people shave your head? And then afterwards, Prabhupada wanted that no further questions. So that's why he says that it is better to have a cool head and warm legs. So she understood that I am wearing the mini, and Swamiji is now pointing out my dress code also. It is better to have the cool head and warm legs than to have the warm head and the cool legs. So it is one of the practice. So it is Vada. The Krishna is also saying that I am the Vada also. About the logicians, they are putting the statements out of that. I am the Vada. Aksharanam akarosmi.
Aksharanam akarosmi.
Vandasam sakshayachaya. Aham evaksayo kalo.
Aham evaksayo kalo.
Dhata ham vishwato mukha.
Dhata vishwato mukha.
Translation and purport.
Can I continue, Prabhuji? Somebody else wants to read?
Is there anybody who would like to try for this?
Okay, Prabhuji. Translation. Of letters, I am the letter A, and among compound word, I am the dual compound. I am also inexhaustible time, and of creators, I am Brahma. Commentary. In Sanskrit, no words can be pronounced without the vowel A. Similarly, nothing can exist without Krishna. This compound words, according to Srila Jiva Goswami in his grammar, is called the Rama Krishna compound. It is when both parts are important. In other compounds, sometimes the first part is important, but the second is not, or vice versa, or neither are important.
Yeah. So it is Krishna is saying that I am the letter A. Without the letter A in a Sanskrit, nothing will be able to pronounce. Mrityu sarvaharashchaham.
Mrityu sarvaharashchaham.
Udbhavascha bhavishyatmam.
Udbhavascha bhavishyatam.
Kirti Shri Vakcha Narainam. Sorry. Kirti Shri Vakcha Narainam.
Kirti Shri Vakcha Narainam.
Smritir Medha Dhriti Kshama.
Smritir Medha Dhriti Kshama.
Translation and commentary.
I am all devouring death, and I am the generating principles of all that is yet to be. Among women, I am fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. Commentary. This means of all feminine qualities, it doesn't have nothing to do with women particularly, but in Sanskrit, there are many qualities that are feminine. And among all those qualities, these sevens are considered representing Krishna. Srila Prabhupada states in his purport, the seven appearances listed, fame, fortune, etc., are considered feminine. If a person possesses all of them, or some of them, he becomes glorious. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So these are the feminine qualities. That doesn't mean that it is only the women are having. It is feminine in the pronunciation. Kirti, Shri, Vak. So these are the feminine means in the Strilingi also we can say it is. Brihat Sam Tatha Samnam.
Brihat Samnam.
Gayatri Chandana Shamham.
Gayatri Chandana Samaham.
Masana Margashirshoham.
Masana Margashirshoham.
Rutunam Kusumakara.
Rutunam Kusumakara.
Please read.
Of translation. Of the hymns in the Sama Veda, I am the Bharat Sama, and of poetry, I am the Gayatri. Of months, I am Margasirsha, November, December. And of season, I am flower wearing spring. Commentary. Krishna already said that of the Vedas, he is the Sama Veda. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So this month is Vasanta, Vasanta Panchami. We just celebrated it. So this month, I feel Krishna is saying that it is a flower-bearing spring. This is Vasanta. This month. Krishna is pointing out that I am this month only. Like the season. Sorry, not a month. It is a season. Then of the months, I am the Margashirsha. It is not Kartika. Kartik is a loved month of the Krishna, but Krishna likes the Margashirsha. And Krishna, why the Margashirsha? I am also not knowing why exactly why Krishna is mentioning here the Margashirsha, November or December. But mostly, this is the perfect season where the atmosphere is really good. The cooling atmosphere, so that's why it must be.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I asked this question because my parents come from Sri Sampradaya. It is said that, the Margashirsha time is like a Brahma Muhurta time of demigods.
Okay.
And it is also said just because, down south, a lot of people talk about this Margashirsha Vrata of Gopi, how Andal does like Gopi Bhav. She wakes up every Gopi and she talks about this Vrata, or it's called Snana Vrata. Snana Vrata means externally it looks like they're taking bath in the morning, but Andal says that you need to have is an inner bath. You need to cleanse everything so that you can achieve Krishna. So that is why in South India, all the Sri Sampradaya stays, they give this kind of narration to why Krishna likes Margashirsha.
So this Margashirsha is what? Down of the demigods.
Yes, of the demigods. Yeah.
Thank you.
And it also talks about how the Andal is waking up in a Gopi Bhav, how she's waking up all the Gopis for next 30 days. She wakes up each Gopi every day and she starts narrating the pastime of Krishna and she talks about Krishna. So this is also called Snana Vrata. Snana Vrata means cleansing of our heart every day by hearing Krishna's pastime through her hymns. So that's also called Snana Vrata. So that is why Krishna says Masana Margashirsha. That is why I like this Margashirsha.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dyutam chalayasamasmi.
Dyutam chalayasamasmi.
Tejasvinamaham.
Tejasvinamaham.
Jayosmi vyavasayosmi.
Jayosmi.
Sattvam sattvatam aham.
Sattvam sattvatam aham.
Translation.
Okay. I am also the gambling of cheats and of the splendid. I am the splendor. I am victory. I am adventure, and I am the strength of the strong.
Why the gambling of the cheats? Krishna is saying that I am the cheater of the cheater. So those who are in the gambling, there is the cheaters are playing the gambling. Then the Krishna says that I am that gambling. Actually, in that I can cheat many if I cheat. So it is like the Krishna's one of the name is called as a cheater of the cheater. Nobody can cheat him, even in the gambling also. So Krishna, when he was talking with Yudhishthir Maharaj and Draupadi in confidence, and Krishna asked Yudhishthir Maharaj, why didn't you call me while the gambling match was happening? The whole scene would have changed. Every time you calls, but this time you didn't call me. I was waiting for that call and I was waiting to cheat them. But unless your invitation, I cannot come like that. So the gambling of the cheats, I am also the gambling of the cheats. And Shakuni was knowing that Shakuni played a trick that you only can come, you 5 brothers only can come, nobody else can come. He was putting in a condition like that. He was knowing that if the Krishna comes, then nobody can cheat him. Vrushnina Vasudevasmi.
Vrushnina Vasudevosmi.
Pandavanam Dhananjaya.
Pandavanam Dhananjaya.
Muninam api aham Vyasa.
Muninam api aham Vyasa.
Kavinam Ushana Kavi.
Kavinam Ushana Kavi.
Shall I continue, Prabhuji, or someone want to read?
Please go on reading.
I'll read.
Okay.
Of the descendants of Vrishni, I am Vasudeva, and of the Pandavas, I am Arjuna. Of the sages, I am Vyasa, and among great thinkers, I am Usana.
I am not knowing who is exactly, I am not remembering who is exactly the Ushana. But rest others, you are knowing that. Next time I will just try to find out who is Ushana. If somebody knows, then they can speak something about the Ushana.
We are also referring Bhagavad Gita Subodhani. So it is mentioned Sukracharya.
Okay.
Ushana. Bracket is written.
So the thinkers, the Sukracharya is a thinker here. And why Shukracharya is a great thinker? Because he always was there in a side of the Asuras, or not Asuras, but the Daityas and Danavas and Rakshasas. He was taking the side. So he was always thinking, and he was having the philosophy for the Daityas to follow. So the Daitya philosophy is like, I heard about Shukracharya, that Shukracharya wanted to be the dharma guru of the demigods, but it was not happening. So somehow or other he took the dharma guru ship of the Daityas and the Danavas. And there he was trying to excel more than the Brihaspati. And he was putting so many theories and how to protect the Daityas, how to conquer the demigods. That was when every time he was just thinking about that. Since he was having the somewhat jealousy, we can say, towards the Brihaspati. So he was trying to take the revenge of that. And that's why he was motivating the Danavas and Rakshasas. Okay, you are no less. I am there. Actually, I am there for you always. Dando damayatam asmi.
Dando
damayatam
damayatam
asmi.
Niti rasmi jigisatam.
Nitirasmi
jigisatam.
Maunam chevasmi guhyanam.
Maunam chevasmi guhyanam.
Jnanam jnanavatamaham.
Jnanam jnanavatamaham.
Translation, somebody can read.
Among all means of suppressing lawlessness, I am punishment, and of those who seek victory, I am morality. Of secret things, I am silence, and of the wise, I am the wisdom. Can I continue, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Now Krishna begins to sum up. Beginning to sum up, Krishna explains that he is the generating seed without which nothing can exist. Krishna continues saying that all these opulences are mere indications of his glory. Everything beautiful, glorious, and mighty springs from but a spark of his splendor as he pervades and supports the entire universe with but a mere fragment of his total potency.
So there is one famous shloka will be coming. Yad yad vibhuti matsattvam srimatu urjitam evava. So this shloka, if you can by heart, this is like whatever the vibhutis I just mentioned, that is the splendor of my beauty. It is a spark of my beauty. It is not whole thing. Yad yad vibhuti matsam. So whenever you are seeing the sun, whenever you are seeing the moon, whenever you are seeing the ocean, whenever you are seeing the mountains and all these things, so it is these are the vibhutis of the Krishna, and it is the spark, splendor of the Krishna's beauty. It is not whole thing. Whatever you are seeing in a big way, the strength, tejas vinamaham, that if you are seeing some tejasvi thing or the tejasvi personality, so it is the splendor of the Krishna's beauty we can see. Yachapi sarva bhutanam.
Yachapi sarva
bhutanam.
Bijam tat aham Arjuna.
Bijam tat aham
Arjuna.
Natadasti vinayatsyan.
Natadasti vinayatsyan.
Maya bhutam characharam.
Maya bhutam characharam.
Please read.
Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being moving or non-moving that can exist without me. Krishna is explaining how one can actually think about him and meditate on him and see him everywhere. Because nothing moving or non-moving can exist without Krishna. Anything we see around us is dependent on Krishna and cannot exist without him.
Yes. So last 2-3 shlokas are there. Then after we will end up. Nantosti mama divyanam.
Nantosti mama divyanam.
Vibhuti nam parantapa.
Vibhuti nam parantapa.
Eshatudeshata prokto.
Eshatudeshata prokto.
Vibhutera vistaro maya.
Vibhuter vistaro maya.
O mighty conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestations. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences.
So it is a mere indication of my infinite opulences. It is not, again, the Krishna, when he started in 20th shloka, he says that it is the prominent opulences only I am mentioning. Again, he is when he is concluding, that time also he is making a note that my opulences are infinite, but I am just giving in a short. So nobody can conclude that, okay, Krishna's opulences we have seen in the Gita, everything. But these are the things generally we are seeing it. So that whenever we are seeing these things, we can remember Krishna and see the opulence of Krishna. Yad yad vibhuti matsatvam.
Yad yad vibhuti matsatvam.
Srimad urjitam eva va.
Srimad urjitam eva va.
Tat eva gachatvam.
Tat eva gachatvam.
Mama tejomsha sambhavam.
Mama tejomsha sambhavam.
Very important shloka of this section. Please know.
Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. This text sums up all the opulences previously mentioned. Everything opulent, beautiful, glorious, and strong that exists should be seen as just a part of Krishna's splendor.
So this is the way we can see the Krishna everywhere. Yad yad vibhuti matsatvam. So even if Krishna has not summarized or mentioned all the vibhutis, but whatever we are seeing, a glorious, beautiful, opulent, then that we can see it is the vibhuti of Krishna, and it is a spark. It is a spark of the whole splendor. So that is the thing that Krishna is mentioning about. Even if there is no issue that actually I am not mentioning all my opulences, but wherever you are seeing the big things, wherever you are seeing the glorious things, you can just understand it is me only. It is me only, and it is a spark of my splendor. That way you can just remember. Not only these 19 to 38 or 39 shlokas where I just mentioned some of them, but wherever, apart from that also, if you are seeing something, so Krishna is covering up now everything, that apart from these opulences, whether I can see some opulences also. Yes, Krishna says that apart from this also there are some opulences, but I am not covering all because of the time, because of there is a limitlessness of these opulences. And that's why the Arjuna is also saying that you only know your opulences, nobody else knows. So the Krishna is saying that I am just limiting now. I'm just covering up the next things. But wherever you are seeing some opulences, it is the spark of my splendor. Athava bahunaitena.
Athava bahunaitena.
Kim jnatena tava Arjuna.
Kim jnatena
tava Arjuna.
Vistabhyam idam Krishnam.
Vistabhyaham idam Krishnam.
Ekamshena sthito jagat.
Ekamshena sthito jagat.
Yes.
But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. When whatever is seen, not only the extraordinary things that were mentioned by Krishna, is supported by Krishna's potency. And Srila Prabhupada says in his purport, if, however, one thoroughly studies the different descriptions of the opulences and expansions of Krishna's energy, then one can understand without any doubt the position of Lord Shri Krishna and can fix his mind in the worship of Krishna without deviation. The Lord is all-pervading by the expansion of his partial representation, the Super Soul, who enters into everything that is. Pure devotees, therefore, concentrate their minds in Krishna consciousness in full devotional service. Therefore, they are always situated in the transcendental position. Devotional service and worship of Krishna are very clearly indicated in the chapter in verses 8 through 11. That is the way of pure devotional service. Krishna concludes that he is the seed of all existence. Nothing can exist without him. There is no need of his infinite opulence. Everything glorious is but fragmental manifestation of his opulence. With a single fragment of himself, he pervades and supports the entire creation.
Thus ends the 10th chapter. Then next time we will be starting with the 11th chapter. Only 2 chapters are remaining. So 11th chapter we will be starting next time. And mostly within 2-3 sessions we will be ending up with the 11th chapter. And the 12th chapter I would like to take after that. Just like 3-4 sessions I would like to keep for the 12th chapter. So that's why the 10th chapter is now over. It is no more, the discussion was required here for the vibhutis, that much, I thought. So 11th and 12th we will be taking in the remaining 7 days. Now the 7 days are remaining with me. So 2-3 days for the 11th chapter and 3-4 days for the 12th one. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have a question, Prabhu. Is it okay if I ask?
Yeah, please ask.
Ji, here Vrishinam Vasudevosmin. Here is Krishna. Is it Krishna referring himself?
Which one? Vishwata Bhayam Idam Krishna?
No. Vrishinam in Usana, that shloka, Vrishinam Vasudevosmin, he says, right?
Yeah,
He says, I'm my Vasudeva.
There is no maybe one. Just a minute. Ushanam, na? Which shloka you are referring?
Shloka
7.
I tell
37, Prabhuji.
37.
Of the descendants of the Vrishni, I am the Vasudeva. And of the Pandavas, Vasudeva, he is talking about Vrishni. Vasudeva. It is, in Hindi, it is called as a Vasudeva.
Balramji?
See, it is in Hindi, it is Vasudeva is Uchcharan or the Vasudeva. Here it is written Vasudeva. No, Vasudeva. Krishna
Vasudeva.
Vasudeva
the
Krishna.
Krishna in Dwarka, it has been mentioned. So the Krishna is in Dwarka, that he is mentioning about, he is a Vrishni.
But I heard once in Chetan Charan Prabhu's class, because here Prabhupada has written Krishna in Dwarka, but I've heard in Chetan Charan Prabhu's class and quotes that, he's saying that Krishna is not mentioning himself, but he's considering Balramji as the greatest of the Vrishnis. So I was a little confused when I read these two.
Okay. But as per, I never heard that, but if it is written here, Vasudeva's Krishna in Dwarka, so mostly the Krishna in Dwarka, so like the Dwarka Krishna and then the Mathura Krishna, then Vrindavan Krishna is different things only, like the different in the mood.
Yeah, in there. Baba.
What is mentioned in Subodhini? Prabhu? Pandurang Prabhu, what is mentioned in the Subodhini? Are you there?
Yes,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji,
Vasudeva, it's mentioned Vasudeva.
No, is there any explanation given there?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, in the purport it is given, Prabhuji. It is to be understood that the Vasudeva referred to in this verse of Bhagavad Gita is Baladeva or Balarama, because he is the original source of all incarnations and thus he is the sole source of Vasudeva.
Okay. Thank you, Padma Mataji. Lilananda Prabhu is raising this hand. Hare Krishna.
No. Yeah, Prabhuji. No, I was just confused. I also read in the purport, but I was thinking here it is written Vasudeva Krishna in Dwaraka, and then he's considering in the purport Prabhupada is saying because Balarama is a plenary portion and he is the reason for other expansions of Krishna. So I was a little confused. So in one sense, there's no difference between Krishna and Balarama, but I was a little confused because here specifically it says Krishna in Dwaraka. And then, but Balarama is also there with Krishna even in Mathura and Vrindavan. So I was a little doubtful.
If it is mentioned in the purport, then it is more authentic than the word-to-word translation.
Okay.
But generally, the Vasudeva is the name of the Krishna only. It's like first time we are coming across the Balramji. But he is also Vasudeva only because the son of Vasudeva is a Vasudeva. Vasudeva is the son of Vasudeva. So the Balramji is also the son of Vasudeva.
Yeah. Okay, Prabhuji. Yeah. Thank you.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat
One
pranam.
question, Prabhuji. For the open book questions which we need to attempt, there are 2 questions in chapters 7 to 12. So do we need to attempt both the questions for the open book assignment?
Yes, it is there mentioned the two books, 2 questions.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So like this, every time in all the open book, we are solving the 2 questions only, no?
Yes. Last time also we did 2 questions. So I just wanted to reconfirm that this time both we need to attempt, right? After the completion of the module.
And I just would like to ask when we will be having this shloka test. The date is finalized. Lilananda Prabhu or somebody else would like to answer this?
Yeah, I think we have decided, Prabhuji. I'll just check the WhatsApp.
Yeah, you can just then update me in a WhatsApp group also.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay.